So it is 7:34 on December 17th, 2024. So I'm going to call this December special town meeting to order. And I think we go through our normal roll call to start.
Yes. Town Administrator Clayton Anderson,
Present.
Public Works Director Darnell Bond,
Here.
uh, Commissioner Brooks,
Present.
Commissioner Colbert,
Here.
Mayor Franklin,
Here.
Commissioner Lott,
Here.
Commissioner Pravat,
Here.
and Police Chief David Burse.
Here.
All right. We'll do a quick pledge and then we'll go to the agenda. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And
and
to the republic
Which
For
is
which it stands, one
one
nation,
under
under God,
indivisible
indivisible,
with
with
liberty.
liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So we only have one item on the agenda tonight, which is ordinance 2024-05, emergency budget amendments, and it's up for board vote. I'm actually going to turn it over to our town administrator, as I don't have much voice, and it does need to be read into the record. So if you were Special Assistant Thomas could do that, please.
I can do it if it's easier.
Okay, that will be great. Thank you.
Yep. Ordinance 2024-05. Should say emergency budget amendments. Agenda item board vote. Session special town meeting enacted / introduced December 17th, 2024. An emergency ordinance amending the budget for the town of Upper Marlboro for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2025, FY 2025, as adopted via Ordinance 2024-01 to provide the acquisition of 2 vehicles for the Department of Public Works in order to assist the town in providing snow vital public services and to address debt service for the police department.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to you, Administrator Anderson, and or if it's better for Director Bond to take it, you guys can work that.
Well, I can start it off with the discussing the budget part of that. And I think Darnell will definitely have more information as it relates to the actual vehicles and the purchase of the vehicles and what that process looked like for him. Everyone did receive a breakdown of salary savings. It was a memo that I sent a few days back, and I do apologize. I actually sent more than one variation of that memo. But the final memo basically indicated that we had a salary savings that included salary and fringe benefits of $82,012. 50,000 of that just salary savings came from the general government budget. 10,000 of that in fringe benefits came from the general government budget for a total of $60,000. So what I'm asking to do is to reduce the general government budget from $748,680 to $680,680, and to increase the public works budget from $594,900 to $654,900. In doing this, we will be able to purchase a Ford truck in the amount of $62,548.50, and we will also be able to finance a second truck in the amount of $69,907.50. Are there any questions?
Uh, do they have to be Ford trucks? Can we, I know another like a Toyota Tacoma probably would be more expensive, but they might last a little longer.
I think that's more of a Director Bond question, with respect to the type of truck that's going to be able to, do the work that's needed. So I would pass that question along to Director Bond.
Thank you, Town Administrator Anderson. Commissioner Brooks, it does not have to be a Ford truck. However, Ford, Chevrolet, and Dodge pretty much are the only manufacturers that manufacture a heavy-duty version of their pickup trucks that are able to hold the weight of a snowplow and a fully loaded salt spreader in the pickup truck bed. The Toyota Tacoma is pretty much the mid-size version, which we wouldn't be able to do any of that with. The next size up for Toyota, their full-size truck is a Tundra, but they do not have a heavy-duty version.
Okay.
If we can go in alphabetical order with questions, so Commissioner Colbert, you have any?
Excuse me, I do. I wanted to actually pick back up on a thread of conversation from one of Commissioner Pravat's previous questions about the need for obtaining 2 trucks at this time. What's the criticality of getting both trucks at this time? Does it affect pricing? What if we delay the truck that we would end up financing? Part of the reason I ask about that is, so we're able, if we make this adjustment, we're able to buy one outright, but we'd be financing one. And while the interest rate is, that the interest rate that was presented is fine for now, there's, hopefully expectations that those will drop soon, will drop in the future, or maybe we'll be able to recoup even further savings so we don't have to finance for a long term. Can we talk about the critical need for needing both of the trucks right now?
Certainly. We definitely need at bare minimum 2 at the current moment. The truck that is in the shop, we did find out that it actually needed a transmission. That truck is 9 years old as of I believe it's February of 2025. It'll be 10 years old, well past its life expectancy for this type of work. The reason that we're fixing that vehicle is for it to be sort of a secondary vehicle in the event that one of these trucks has a recall, something happens to it, or if one of these vehicles is hit or damaged in any way. We don't want that to be a frontline vehicle. And the critical need to buy 2 is with getting this transmission fixed, there's no guarantee that it is going to be without issues moving forward. The only thing is we just have a warranty that if the transmission does go out, they will replace it for up to 3 years, 100,000 miles.
And so the cost to fix that transmission was already accounted for in the public works budget previously. So we're not basically we're not adjusting to include the cost of fixing that transmission just for the purchase of the vehicle.
That is correct.
And another question, I'm sorry. So the 2 trucks, the 2 ones that we need that are not good, one of them is 9 years old, and what year is the other one?
The other one that we have deadlined that had the death wobble is a 2012.
2012. Okay. So those are 2, and are one of them we going to try to sell?
We're looking at to see what is the best route with it being in the shape that it's in with the death wobble. We're trying to see what is the best way to get the best bang for the buck for it.
Okay. So 2012 and the other one's 9 years old. Okay, and so and Mr. Anderson, you said one we would pay outright $62,548.50, and the other one, the $69,000, we would finance that one.
Correct, yes. Over 4 years.
over 4 years.
Wasn't there, this is Commissioner Lott, wasn't there another option to pay it off a little sooner, if that was possible?
Yes, I presented the option to finance the lowest price option and the highest priced option over 4 years for both vehicles. And I also sent over to pay for one outright and to finance the other for a 2-year term.
Okay. And did we consider trying to bargain? What was did we try to bargain, with getting the 2 trucks?
Yes. So after our conversation, I went back to all of them to see, was there any way to, adjust the numbers any, and everyone was pretty much, you're getting government pricing. This is the negotiated contract. So that is a no. Ford of Waldorf said that although we're getting the government pricing, they were determined to beat the other Ford bid, which they did by $1,000. Without me disclosing what that other bid was. Also, they said that there was a deal that if we wanted 3 or more vehicles, that they would be able to work with the numbers a little more. Their sort of stipulation was that it wouldn't be the exact same truck for the third version. It would either be if it was a heavy duty truck, it would be a single cab. And then they asked, did we have a need for an admin vehicle, which at the time I thought, since general government is putting up the bulk of the money, that general government could get something. And they said that they could work the numbers better for like a passenger vehicle or like a small SUV.
And who would that serve? The small SUV or the other vehicle you're talking about, the third vehicle?
The general government staff.
General government staff. Okay.
And what dealership are we dealing with?
He just said the Ford of Waldorf.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. But I have proposals from Ford of Waldorf, Chevrolet of Waldorf, Criswell Chevrolet of Gaithersburg, and Upper Marlboro Ford.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so basically, what do we have as far as the budget is concerned? What is available?
So,
What type of money do we have available?
Town Administrator Anderson explained that, but he can go over it again.
So currently through salary savings, we have $82,012.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
I'm sorry, there was an
sorry.
I apologize. There was an additional, we adjusted our revenue by 10,000. So we have an additional 10,000, so it's $92,012.
Right. So I guess my question would be, are we not still looking to hire? Because aren't we advertising, or didn't we talk about advertising, not the last meeting, the meeting before last? Then we talk about advertising a position, so that you had someone as a backup for you.
Oh,
So where would that salary come from?
well, that salary is still in the budget. This is the 82,000, well, the approximately 60,000 that's coming from general government. That's money that we had and we haven't spent. So
Okay.
we still have the remainder of salary for the positions that we're advertising for.
Okay.
The
Thank you.
unspent salary so far this year.
Well, I know we need the vehicles, because I know 2 years ago we were in this same type of predicament where, and I think at that time we were discussing getting a used vehicle. And we had hoped to budget each year so that we could get at least one vehicle a year. So, to make everyone, make this department whole, because their vehicles were pretty old. So, I'm in favor with getting the vehicles. It's just, I guess the matter would be how we're gonna pay for them. Like, what kind of payment plan are we gonna do? Or are we gonna use the option that Darnell brought up, whereas, we can, you said something about paying twice a year or something like that?
He said they're gonna finance the one that's for 69 and the other one that's 62,548. They'll pay that outright. We only go finance one for over 4 years.
Right, and he also said that in order, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought he said something about if we wanted to do some savings on that, then we could pay it off quicker and just do maybe 2 payments per year.
2 year, there's a 2-year option, right, Darnell?
Yes.
Sorry.
Right, but 2 payments per year. I think that's what he said. I don't know.
Well,
I think all the options have 2 payments per year.
yeah, the payments are basically every 6 months. So it would be 2 payments each year.
So I think, and sorry, Commissioner Lott, I don't mean to step over you, but what would be the interest savings if we went the 2-year option versus the 4-year option?
So I don't have that in front of me. Darnell, would you have that? Or
1 second.
That's key because it wouldn't make sense to do the 2-year option if we would save more in the long run with the 4-year.
So the 2-year option is 6.89%. And the 4-year is 6.29%. With the financing of the 2 vehicles versus the 1.
so there's a 0.6% difference in the interest rate.
Right. Right. I just wonder, and I appreciate that. I don't have the calculator in my head isn't working right now. So I just wonder if 0.6% over 4 years is, what the savings difference would be versus paying a slightly higher interest rate just for 2 years to pay it off. But I don't have that. I can do that math in my head right now. Ultimately, I would be in favor of whichever of those 2 options provide the greatest interest savings over the term.
We can even make them like that, but I want to give Commissioner Pravat a chance to get her questions answered.
I actually don't have any questions. I'm doing this math real quick for you. Colbert, I really think that it's marginal.
Okay.
Like there's not going to be a huge savings or jump
Okay.
by doing it 2-year or 4-year.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'll amend my statement a little bit. If it's relatively the same, then I'd want to make sure that our cash flow year to year is in a better place as opposed to putting out a large amount of money each year, where that may be for under emergency that may come up.
Yeah.
And for the used vehicle, how much you think we'll get for the used vehicle?
If they test drive it, it's going to be very low. I'm thinking somewhere in the ballpark of 500 to 1,000.
Oh my goodness. Well, so much for my idea.
I'll ask Commissioner Pravat the question. I know your expertise in this arena. Do you have an opinion on cash flow versus the interest savings, or cash flow versus paying off the vehicle early?
I think it'd be in the town's best interest to really own what they have. So paying it off sooner rather than later. Then it's
Yeah,
your.
I agree. I only see the savings if we pay it off quicker. That's the way we save the money.
I agree with that too. So we have 4 people. I don't know what your thought is, Commissioner Brooks, on that.
Yeah, yeah, that would be better. So if we do the 2-year, it's the interest rate is 6.9, and if we do the 4 years, the interest rate is 6.29. Okay, yeah, I see. On $69,000.
So just to be clear, the interest rate of 6.29 was financing both vehicles. So the 125,097 over 4 years.
With just one.
And the 6.89 was the one vehicle over 2 years.
Mhm.
And other commissioners, let me know if I have our sort of thought process correct, but it sounds like what we want to do is purchase one outright and finance one. Is that what everyone is saying? Yes or no?
Well, that's how it was presented. That we would pay the 62,548.50. We'll buy that and then finance the 69 one.
Mhm.
That's how it was presented. So
Right. I just want to make sure that we are all good with that. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Yes.
yeah, that's fine with me.
Administrator Anderson, are there any other parts of the ordinance we need to discuss before we take public comment and get ready to vote?
Yes, there is one last part of the ordinance we have to discuss. We would be amending, sorry, 2 line items. What happened was the debt service for the police department was erroneously included in the Public Works capital outlay budget. So what we're doing tonight is we are removing $57,500 from the Public Works capital outlay budget. The line item is 9030, and we're moving that money to line item 9010, which is the public safety debt service line item. That's where that dollar amount was supposed to be, but there was a typo of some sort with the final budget. That money is already budgeted, so it's not in addition. We're just shifting it to its proper location, well, to its proper line item. And by doing that, the police department will receive its 100% credit from the county, and that'll save the taxpayers in Upper Marlboro on their property taxes.
Any questions about that before we take public comment? Okay. Hearing none, I'm going to open up for public comment. If you can just state your name and the street you live on once you are unmuted, which our special assistant will help you with, and share your comments. You're going to want to raise your hand if you want to speak. Okay. So no one's raised their hand, so we will move on. And Administrator Anderson and Special Assistant Thomas, if you can just verify I've got the motion phrased correctly. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2024-05 amending? Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong thing in front of me. We're going to start over again. Is there a motion to approve ordinance 2024-05 emergency budget amendments?
I approve.
So moved.
So Commissioner Brooks made the motion, Commissioner Locke
Second.
seconded
second.
it. Special Assistant Thomas, would you call a vote for us, please?
Gladly. Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Colbert,
Aye.
Mayor Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Lott,
Aye.
Commissioner Pravat.
Aye.
Motion is approved.
Thank you, everyone. I think we just move on to adjourn the meeting. So is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there?
Second.
Okay, so motion made by Commissioner Lott, seconded by Commissioner Pravat. And we're actually gonna call it because we're on Zoom. So if you could, oh, hold on a second. Director Bond, you have some.
Just before we all go, I'd just like to thank you all, 1, for your time, 2, for the consideration, and 3, for approving the motion for the vehicles and the errors in the budget. We definitely need it, and we really, really appreciate it. And just wanted to take the time to thank you guys.
And we thank you too for all the hard work. So we need to make sure you're equipped.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
Hopefully no snow this year.
Don't say that. I won't be able to pull out my furs. Don't say that.
Well, now we need to know to use these trucks.
I know that.
Exactly.
That's right. We got to get them a test run.
We got
Well,
to see what we got.
Give them
We
2
haven't had-
weeks so they can get them hooked
We
up with the
haven't had
plow.
snow. When's
We
the
gotta
last
get 'em a
time we
test
had a
run.
major snowstorm? About 5-6 years.
Major, yes.
But we had
plowable was
snow.
last year.
But nothing major where we would
Sorry, real quick. The meeting is adjourned.
be.
No, the meeting is not adjourned yet.
I just wasn't sure to stop the recording.
Yeah, we can adjourn the meeting and then we can continue conversing. If you guys want to do that. Do you want to call the roll?
Yeah. Commissioner Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Colbert,
Aye.
Mayor Franklin,
Aye.
Commissioner Lott,
Aye.
Commissioner Pravat.
Aye.
Motion is carries. Meeting is adjourned.
We're
Thank
allowed
you.
to keep talking.